You the man.
All right, so we got 7 o'clock, so we're gonna call this to order. So I guess our Tom is not here. So we're gonna call, as we call meeting order, we're gonna start off with officer elections. Any nominations for chair?
Long Taylor.
I was getting that stuff. Hey, Beverly. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? With there being no other nominations, I guess, I will, yes.
Do we have a second? Hold on,
You have a second, yeah, he said.
okay.
I don't know how to do that at first person.
You can ask for motion for the nominations to cease
Six
and
five.
elect you back on motion.
Yeah, so, yeah.
You got it.
Second. Second.
So, yes. Okay, well, thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye. It's kind of resolved.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
So the next question I have, or the next order is vice chair.
Nominate Mr. Carl.
Second. Will be no other nomination, or is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations?
Stays back on motion.
All right,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, so now we're gonna move on to discussion items. Number one, we have Mr. Saley teed up here.
Secretary.
Oh, we got a secretary, I'm sorry, Jesus. So now we have the office of secretary. With that being said, is there any nominations? Second. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? I'd entertain a motion that we that nominations. Yes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Beverly, congratulations. She's already.
Yeah, y'all knew. I already knew.
You could have said Tommy.
I could have, but I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, Alan.
Okay, sorry that I jumped ship. Let's just get a little formal right now. Let's, at this point, we're gonna move forward to. Number one, we have Mr. Saley teed up to talk about the courthouse.
Courthouse. All the items been passed to Mr. Beller as far as the delayed electrical issues and some of the stuff that the inspectors have found. Some of the units aren't attached to the walls properly, some of the electrical, the electricity that ran the units there was supposed to have all been removed and replaced with new, and I believe they all had new electrical ran to them, but some of the existing electrical was left behind with just some wire nuts on them and hanging in the floor, so. Some of that's been removed, but I'm not sure about all of it. I hadn't talked to the inspector since they made their last inspections, so. Some of them still not mounted to the wall, and we checked that today. We went ahead and started back in on some of the things that are our responsibility. We started painting again today in the election offices. Where they had to cut into the drywall and made a mess in there, and some stuff had been slid around on the walls and scratched and stuff, so we repainted a few of the walls today. We're getting ready on our part to move in whenever the electrical passes, so.
Do we have a checklist, Cliff, of items that they not done? Have they, that initial checklist that we had went through when we did our walkthrough, and
Mhm.
we kind of kept following up? Are all of those items checked off, or do we still have items that are
I
open?
know we have some.
Where do we
issues.
stand?
Yeah, some of those things haven't changed. What we're waiting on right now is for it to just pass inspection with codes and inspectors, electrical inspectors, so. Until that happens, I believe all that would be included in what's on our list.
Okay,
I know that you're not gonna get that from them until things such as that conduit and stuff is properly affixed.
I would say that two main concerns that are not gonna be on that list is the boiler not being removed and our heaters not being returned for the basement.
I can foresee that the heater return would be an easy fix. I see trying to remove that old piece of equipment that is left down there being a major issue. I mean, I don't know how that they would actually remove it at this point. I'm just being honest.
Cut it up. and kick it
That's
out.
what I'm thinking, that you would have to have a torch and then it could become a liability. Does that make sense?
If they were cut in half, could they be carried out?
Yeah, oh yeah, we can get.
I mean,
them.
could they be cut with like saws and stuff?
They
I
can
mean,
be
I
cut.
don't know.
It's cast, so they can be cut with a torch or a saw.
Saw.
What they got into was they were trying to cut solid brass, big pieces of brass with a torch, and that brass just moltens and moves out of the way. It don't
Right.
cut it.
I mean, that'd be a heavy piece of scrap.
We paid somebody else to take it out, and I hate to put it on Cliff's bunch.
No.
That
But
could be part of the situation with our council.
Yeah, it's in the contract. If
mhm,
they remove it,
yes, it is.
they just ignore it.
I think that was a lot of the reason the courthouse wasn't finished properly is the electrical contractor said that they didn't see the contract that Train and Mayor Chambers signed. So there's been a misunderstanding from the get-go, according to the engineers, the electrical that did all the work.
Well, anybody got any questions for him? Alrighty, so we're moving to the other category of discussion items. Anybody else want to bring forward?
We're still waiting for them to tear the building, the old pool room down at the end of the bridge. Supposedly they contracted someone to do that, and I don't know what the holdup it is, but I keep nudging.
Talk about the Thick Pen property,
Hmm,
the Thick Pen property,
no, across the street.
across the street.
No, thick thing, yeah.
Yeah, big fan.
Cliff, they sent out an urgent thing to get the electric turned off and some other things, and we got all that done, didn't we?
Yeah, all that's been
The
taken
water's
care of.
been turned off and
Yeah, water's been turned off. It's gonna be a hurry up wait process. It's just that's just the way they are.
They're gonna have to abate that as it comes down, I think, at least.
actually, the last time I talked to some guys in the homes for this, they said, we're not going in that building, we're just gonna have, our challenge is where we put it when someone tears it down, so I don't know. I'm sure they've got clearance on, put that stuff somewhere, or they hadn't called you that.
No, they'll landfill it. They'll
Mhm.
landfill it.
I think the main objective would be just to make sure that none of it goes into the creek.
A lot of asbestos in there,
Right.
amongst other things.
Yeah.
So in this other category, is there anything else you can talk about? Is there any movement on that inspection over there?
No, just that, they're finishing up the phase one environmental study of the whole warehouse. The next thing we'll do is have a structural engineer look at it. And then we'll, hopefully, by that time, we'll have some solid figures from the architect on what's gonna cost to build this jail. And then we can
Proceed.
hopefully move forward.
Did we get any clarification on, I just went blank, beside the highway department?
The
They
health
help-
department,
Yes, thank you. I just,
what kind of clarification?
clarification on the way that they were building that. I know I had heard that instead of, I guess, it going out, they were going more back. I guess the cost of it is,
Yeah, the money was the problem there. They're going back with another room, another office. And one of the offices there now is gonna be a wall taken out to where the the pharmacy, cooling area will be bigger, because right now they're out of room in there. We've got that 100 degree below zero freezer in there and two other coolers, and another freezer that's in there, so. It's just so cramped in there. You have to almost walk in sideways to get in and out of it. They're really cramped for space. The air conditioner unit in there that keeps those cooling fans and motors and compressors of those freezers and coolers, is a little bit out of date. It's been giving us fits for a couple of years, so that's gonna be updated. The generator will have to be a little bit more wiring done to it to handle all it. It's capable of handling what it's doing. They just don't have enough outlets in there to run what needs to be ran on that generator. So there's a little bit of electrical work to be done there as well.
I think the way I had understood it was the cost, instead of kind of going
Yeah,
wide, it was gonna go more narrow and
yeah,
go back
yeah.
further, but the cost of everything was not really necessarily changed. It was just kind of the visual structure of it.
Right. The original was the expansion of that closet. 2 exam rooms and an office, and now it's gonna be an exam room and an office going back instead of out to the sides, and I believe they'll wind up keeping either that storage building or getting a bigger storage building. Then the circle driveway out front, or the end, and actually the entrance and the exit with a canopy and a set of steps coming out of the front of the building instead of just the side of the building. And a big sign, a lighted sign, kind of like what's at Wilson County Health Department. I'm not saying I've seen pictures of it, but I'm not saying. It's a big lighted
Speaking of
sign.
buildings, you got the senior center building moved.
It's been moved. The new one was brought in Friday. We've loaned them an enclosed roll-off container that she's kept all her stuff stored in. So tomorrow we'll get it set back in front of her new building where she can get it unloaded. And then we'll take the can back and move the carport. We had to move the carport over out of the way so they could get the building in. And once we get that done, we'll bring our bus back. We've had our bus in storage because everything's sort of shoveled up there over the past month. But she should be back in good shape by the end of the week.
And the building you moved held together, didn't
Yeah, we knocked a little hole in it, but it had a bad spot in it anyway. We're gonna try to put the Christmas tree in there once we're done with it, this next year. We're actually gonna try to start on it this week. We just don't have any idea what we're getting into. It's brand new to us, so we're gonna try to get it up early and figure it out. It may go together in a day, and it may take us all week. We just don't know what we're getting into, so.
Good.
The videos make it look easy.
They always do,
they? They did.
Yeah. because those videos are shot where the people putting it together has done it many times.
Yeah.
So,
I know some of y'all received an email about the bathrooms at the concession stands and the concession stand itself. We've already had one toilet completely stopped up that we've had to replace, and now we're gonna have to replace another one. We can't get the asphalt and the brick out of it. This kid's doing it, and my security guard just can't be there all the time, or he's gonna be in other places. Especially when the new park gets in, we're really gonna be concentrated on that area up there. So.
The food that was left in the concession stand, is that from Little League or is that just?
And what I was told, pictures you got, they sold food out of there that night.
So I guess my question is, and I'm not targeting you, but maybe we need to draw up some kind of contract if they are going to use this. They utilize it how we used to use it. And if you're gonna use it, you put the food in like Rubbermaid containers, stuff like that. That way you don't have to worry about rodents coming in there and destroying, because once they go on a mission, they're subject to destroy wiring and everything else. You
It's just a
know,
concession stand at the park.
Yes, I sent you an email, you'll get to it, but
football used it over at its park.
yeah, I'll send it to you as well, so you'll have it.
I mean, cause they've done a mess from those photos.
Now, will rodents have or kids.
the rodents.
Okay.
Just because there's like chips and
It's
that was
like
one thing,
possums and stuff.
I mean, you
They shoot
know,
holes in the bag of chips and sunflower seeds and all that is all over the place. In the full sheets that they wrap the food up with.
So that's the Little League concession stand.
Yes,
mhm. So I mean, then you're dealing with droppings everywhere from the rodents, so. It's something that's gotta be, you gotta go in there and totally disinfect and clean, and I mean. You know, those fryers and stuff like that, once they get into there, whether. They've used them that night or not, I mean, it's still. I mean, my recommendation would be that they have to put it in some kind of containers.
Yeah.
That are sealed off if you're gonna leave any kind of food or.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can remember us, we would always put, even if it was candy and stuff, we would put the candy in the coolers. Just because it was closed off, it was sealed off, you know, nothing could get into there,
They can't smell it through the cool.
right?
Little League's always taken good care of it, and football has too until this year. We've just run into a little problem this year with it. It's just out of hand.
Understood. Do we have anything else?
Public Works about the fees and stuff on that building, are we gonna cover that? Under this now?
Yeah, community center room.
Discussion, yeah.
I was absent from that meeting.
It was discussed whether it will make my job a lot easier if we just didn't waive any fees for anyone.
I couldn't agree more.
Red Cross was discussed and we decided we would just get a sponsor for Red Cross, and they don't usually pay a fee to reserve it because we got the date, we know they're coming, they always leave the place immaculate. So it will be $100 fee to use it, and we're just gonna get sponsors to do that. And that way we don't have to waive any fee for anyone to get into this. Because as soon as I already had someone call from the youth football league, who had, we waived the fee for them to use at some point the amphitheater or whatever, so they assumed that maybe we might waive the fee for the community center. I just waited till I met with the committee and we're gonna put that in formal resolution.
So the fee is $100,
$200 and you get $100 back.
so it's $100 and $100 deposit.
Right,
We discussed changing that.
and Kerry talked about the fact that it's a paperwork nightmare to take the money, put it in the bank, turn around, find the check back, and what happens, you know, people are in it all the time.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about the deposit is. We're losing money on that, because we give them, we take $100 deposit. And then by the time it goes through my department,
Mhm.
Cindy's department, back to Renee to write a check. I mean, there's so much processing involved in it that it's costing us $130 to get that money back out. $125, $130 on that $100 deposit. Because I mean, we're here and we're working, but there's postage, there's checks, there's quite a bit involved in it. I don't know exactly how much, but there is quite a bit involved in that, so. Maybe a $200 flat rate or something like that, you know,
That's not out of the.
and put them on,
Not even near out of the.
and if it's damaged, we'll put them on a blacklist, or we'll figure out something when it happens.
So are we saying do away with the deposit is,
Still have the deposit rate correct.
Make it to 200 flat, and then I would probably have on the application process where. We can hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah, you're responsible for damages. If there's a serious amount of damage, then you'll be responsible.
And to develop a list of rules to be posted
Yeah,
Yeah,
to make it clear.
I still think they're looking. You're talking about how it's always double woods, could be double book. But to split it somehow.
yeah,
if you did like. Say if it's Saturday, you did, if somebody wanted from 8 to 12, and then say. You have a clean. Just someone to check to make sure that everything is clean and up and operating.
Right.
For an hour. Would that be possible, or is that gonna be too hectic?
I don't think it's impossible. We've got people here that can do it. So,
Also, we talked about the fact that some of those people who come in, like with a boutique, that were there 3 days,
Right,
but for multiple days, we might give some kind of discount.
Might kick it back to.
well, you could do a
So that would
multiple,
be
200 the first day and 100 the day afterwards.
yeah,
I think.
cause her deposit, she don't even want it back. It stays on file here. She pays for 3 days and then she pays her deposit and it just stays on file. She paid a deposit in February. I think it's still on file. We're still.
so do we think like $200 for the first day? And then if you want it for multiple days, you could do $100 for multiple days? Or do we need to check prices in surrounding counties just to kind of see?
I think that would be fair.
I mean, I understand, I mean, I'm not opposed to that, I mean, it's whatever the body size.
I think it's fair to do that.
But I think that if the cleaning is an issue, if we split that, I think more people get it if they wanted it.
I'm thinking, and don't hold me to this, but I'm thinking like Jimmy Floyd. You rent it. I was thinking it was like $250. And you can only rent, that's for like 4 hours. But I would have to double check on that, it's been a while.
Yeah, and it's the facility too. I mean, we're not
I mean-
comparing apples to apples, but
Right, I mean, I know it's totally different, but I know they just have different, they have individual rooms. I'm not saying like you're swimming or doing anything, I'm just saying just one of their rooms.
I think Smith County, but Ag Center, it's a big,
It's nice.
but I think they just charge 150 with the deposit, so. I think 200 within reason.
I
We
mean-
also mentioned maybe getting to fix it where that money went into an account for that room.
at least half of it to replace flooring, painting. You know, we've still got
Yeah.
some paint. And you can't see it. I could take you there and show you several places, but we've completely repainted that room just where there's been patches pulled off the wall by tape and things like that.
I think that is why we need those rules up there.
Yeah. We can get that done. That's not a big deal.
I suppose we just need to create a line item for that money to go in to, for maintenance of the building.
Yeah.
And
And I got some ladies that work for me now that wouldn't mind coming in on the weekends and doing that kind of stuff. We're almost at full staff and. I mean, we're painting the courthouse. We're fixing to start painting the window sills on the courthouse. We've already redone, replaced the wood in 2 of them, so.
So does anybody wanna make a motion to do the community center rental fee for $200 for the first day,
Make a motion.
$100 for multiple days thereafter?
and no fees be waived. Or what we basically decided in the last meeting was that to take the authority away from the mayor to waive fees, which is.
We did that in the meeting on the night. We voted on that.
But I guess that needs to be in the form of a resolution, that and go before the court.
Yep.
That language. Okay. Well, that would be the recommendation from both committees.
So community center is $200 for first day rental and $100
On multiple days, yeah.
on multiple.
So, yeah, sequential days after.
And dispense with deposits.
No deposit
For the
and
damage liability contract.
no waiving of fees
Good. Mr.
with
Mr. Bell, the rally said we could damage.
damage liability.
We've got a pretty good one now. It's just in the form of a deposit, keeping our deposits
Okay.
away. I mean, if we just have a little bit of it changed, I'd say it would be good.
I'll take a photograph of a couple of those signs and some other places. To give us an idea of what 10 line items to put on there. Like absolutely no alcohol and,
Yeah.
profanity and you can't bring hay in here. Somebody brought 3 or 4 bales of hay.
Hey, tape on the walls, the tape just peels the paint right off those walls.
And we're going to discuss anything about splitting the hours and find out about the cleaning or do.
I guess in the event that somebody only wants it 4 hours, it could be a couple of days. additional work that day.
Well, I think somebody wanted there today.
Like Christmas, somebody
wanted
might
it
want
tonight.
it, you know, from 8
Somebody
to
might want
11.
the first half and somebody might want it on the same day. for
But
the
that doesn't
second
mean
half.
it's $100 for this person, $100 for that person.
No,
$200.
it's still,
Right.
it would still be the same fees.
The way it stands is, it's one pay all day, all night, right, 8 to 10.
Unless we put a
Unless we-
stipulation in there.
I know we
It just
talked about it,
depends- it
we
just
talked about it
depends.
earlier, it had to do with the cleaning, you know, somebody come in
Right.
the morning, if somebody's gonna be there to clean it for them, somebody wanted it in the afternoon.
That would just be if you wanted to. So I have a motion by Taylor for the community center to be $200 for the first day. $100 on multiple days, no deposit and no waiving of fees with they'll have to sign a damage liability waiver. With that I'll get Mr. Beller to coordinate, but
Well, I'll
is
second-
that
I'll
for
second that.
8 hours? Or do we wanna put an hour stipulation in there, is what I guess we're.
I think one thing that Odell was wanting us to stick to is cutoff time's 10 o'clock unless special.
I think cutoff time should remain at 10 o'clock. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, do you wanna do like, you could rent it from 8 to 12 for like a 4 hour span? Do we wanna put a time span on?
Make it 4 to 8 hour increments. I mean, just because they rented it for the day, don't mean they're there. If they only need it for a couple hours, and they only need it for a couple hours.
Is that gonna be more hectic on your staff?
In the event that it's, you know, that somebody doesn't need it for the full 8 hours. You know,
Or you can say 8 to 2, then 3 to 10.
Do that.
but see, what's gonna make that money is that $400? Or is that 200 for?
Yeah, that's just it. I can be rented all day for $200. I don't want to share my day.
I don't know, I mean, the intention's good, I guess have it on a per basis if somebody's in there really in there.
I'd say let's float this and see how it plays out, and then you never know.
Yeah, I mean, this will work either way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No one can discuss the other.
Okay,
so Mr. Carmen, are you seconding
I
that
second,
motion
yeah.
with no time?
This
We're
is
not putting no time, we're not putting any time changes,
8, you know, no later than 10 p.m.
with the exception of no later than 10,
That's what it is, supposed to be anyway.
right.
yes.
Do we have any other business?
Yes,
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
What?
So,
the motion on the floor is the community center rate will go to $200 for the first day, $100 on multiple days, no deposit and no waiving of fees. By, I'm just gonna say by anyone,
by any.
that way it doesn't. With signage of a damage liability waiver, and that they cannot be there no later than 10 p.m. All rules in place still apply. Because it says that in those rules, I didn't bring them with me, but I could read them.
Got a motion, please? We're gonna vote.
You got a motion by you and a second by Carmen.
That's just one, okay. So we're gonna take a vote on this, all in favor, say aye.
Alright,
Any opposed?
We're gonna check with you.
Carry.
We had it the other night to limit his authority to,
Wait,
waive it. I don't know if he's already drawn it up, but
I'll check with Mr. Beller tomorrow.
but
Yeah.
if it says in there, no.
Any
fees be-
office,
If it
from
says
any
in there,
office.
no fees be waived, that takes care of that.
Right.
I didn't know if he'd already, oh, he already had one coming.
I think you heard that.
No, he's not that caught up.
Do we have any other business? See nobody from the public here in public comment. Take a motion to adjourn.
Motion
As he often says, it's not debatable.
From Mr. Wicker, I'll second that.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. But I turned it off, you sure, that'll work, so let's stop it.